So hello everybody, welcome to our new C++ live stream. Today, let's continue with functions. So we were learning functions. Let's continue with that. Here, all right.
What's in a name? Well, when it comes to coding,
So
there's a
let's
lot to know.
continue.
In Python, you can name your variables almost
All
any
right.
way you like.
So
Hey everyone, welcome back to W3 Schools.
here
Today we're diving into the wonderful world of Python. Imagine if you could do
we
something
have to
everyone
learn
dreams of
how to
doing a lot
pass an
faster
array
and
to a
think big.
function.
That's
So
Python.
let's see how we can
Hey
do
there,
that.
coding enthusiasts. Today, we'll learn some
Um,
cool tricks on how to assign multiple values in Python. Ready?
so
Let's go. First up, let's see how Python lets you
there
assign values to multiple
I hope the
variables
audio is
using
clear
variables.
and you can
Ready?
hear me.
Today we're exploring Python
So
variables.
let's just continue.
Think of variables as containers for storing data values.
All right.
In Python, creating a variable
So
is as simple as assigning a
let me
value
just
to an
go to
argument.
VS Code here. In the meantime, you can ask me questions as well if you have any in the live chat. So let me just comment this. All right. So first we have, all right. First there is a function.
Hey there, future coders. Today we're looking at
All right.
Python variable names.
And inside the main, there is
What's
an
in a name?
array
Well,
that is
names can mean
initialized.
quite a lot. In
All right.
Python, you can name your
This is an
variables
array
in
that is
multiple ways.
initialized inside the main
Hey
function.
techies, welcome back to W3
And
Schools.
then the function is
Today
called,
we're diving into the rules of Python syntax. Let's
the
go.
function is called over here.
Quick recap on how to run Python on your own.
And
You can execute
yeah,
Python code
and
directly
then
from
the
command line with
array
the Python shell. Hey
is
there, coders. Today we're exploring
passed to this
Python variables.
function, right? So there is a
Think of
for loop
variables as
inside this
containers for
function.
storing data values.
Um,
In Python, creating a
so
variable is as simple
I
as
less
assigning
than
a
5,
value to
so
it.
runs up till 4, 0 to
Hey there,
4,
Python wizards.
and see out
We're learning about global
my
functions.
numbers
These are
I
special
is
variables
printed.
that live outside of functions and can
So
be accessed by everyone, both inside and
what
outside
this
functions.
function does, right? Let's
Hey techies,
see
welcome
what
back to
it does. Let's
W3Schools.com.
just
Today
do
we're
it.
diving into
So what they have done is they have initialized a function void. Let's call it func, and how have they passed
the
their
rules
in?
of Python syntax. Let's get
All
started.
right, int,
Quick recap on how to use
and
Python.
then int all the array as my nums, and
Python on your
yep.
own.
So
You can
my nums,
execute Python code directly from
and then
command line.
inside we have a for loop. I is equal to 0, I less than 5, I less than 5, I plus plus, and what does the for loop do? It coutts, mm, what does it do? All right, int I, here it should be int I, coutts, all right, my number,
Line from the Python shell.
so my nums I, and then you give, then just give an handle, all right, my nums I, and then handle, that's it, right?
Hey there,
And
future Pythonistas, ready to embark on your
we
coding
have to
journey?
define the function in the for loop, I mean in the main function. So int main um let's say my arms or int my arms. I don't know if we need int over here because it's already, we might need it. Yeah, let's my arms 5 and the array, let's say 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5, and the function call, let's call the function here func and then call minums func minums. I think, yeah, that is good enough. All right, let me know in the chat. We are okay. I think that's good. All right, let's return 0 and let's run and see. Let's run this. All right, I guess we are good. Functions. Let me just change this to functions. Functions2.exe and all right. All right, now let me run. Let's see what happens. Now let me change this to here. So it prints 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. All right. So why does this happen? Because the for loop runs like this. Suppose let's say we change this to maybe 10. What happens then? Let's see what happens then. So why does this happen here? These are just random values here, right? Because we have not defined any value after 5, right? In the array, we have not uh, passed any value after 5. So these are just random values that is generated, you know, um, that is there in the memory. Okay, so that's why it's just printing this. So yeah, if you want any value to be printed, you should mention it over here in the array. All right, so that is it. Let's move ahead. The next, so that was how you can pass arrays to a function. And there is also passing vectors to a function. So let me see. Passing vector to a function. Let's see how we can do that as well. Um, Passing a vector over here. As you can see, you can do it this way, right? This is how we can pass a vector similar to However, you do it in arrays. We know, ignore this std. If you are using namespace, you don't need this std over here. You can just have this part, and similarly here as well. You can just say const vector and then this part over here, right? So that is a syntax for passing vectors. Let's do this as well. Let's see if we are getting the output here. Similar to arrays, let's do this for vectors. Passing vectors. This was passing arrays. Passing arrays to a function. And let's pass vectors now and see if we get the all right. Let me just comment this. Why am I not okay? All right, we are good. So let's just pass the vector over here. I'm just going to change this. Let's say this is a vector now. Um, vector vector in integer type. All right, and yeah. So let's call the vector as my nums itself, and yeah. So that's defined over here. Vector int my nums, and now we have to also, I think we have not imported vector over here. Let's do that because we use vectors. We have to include that here. Hash include vector. All right, now we are good. I guess hash include. Yeah, now we are good. So now let's say you have to call the vector here. So let's say const, and then you have to use the and symbol. Const normal, same how we are initializing, right? Vector end, and then after that use the and symbol, right, to refer that vector, right? And vec is what? Vec is the name of the function that we are giving, right? So let's say here here the array name is minus. Okay, so const, okay, here vec. Not sure if you need this vec over here. Okay, let's see. This is the vector, and then you are okay. Pass by constant reference. There is different ways. All right. Here, look at this for loop. It's not. Yeah. So if you see this for loop over here, right? So you don't access the index like this. Uh, like how we do it in arrays. So you have to just say vector int and then the and over here, what can you say? Um, right, so we probably cannot use a for loop like this. Let's try. Let's see if this works. Here everything else is fine, I guess. So let's see. All right, so let's see. Okay, so this is the corrected code. Apparently, added the parameter name back to the function signature. So you need a parameter name. All right. Okay. So let's see. Vec parameter name. I just gave it as vec. Okay. Minums of I. Can I just say minums here? I'm not sure about that. I don't think that is correct. Is that correct? Let's see. Let's try. Let's try. Let's try. Okay, so you see what happens here. It still prints. Okay, let me just change this to 5. Let me just change this to 5 and let's see. I think that still works. So this still works. Um, so I'm not sure, like, okay. So I think that's fine, right? So, okay, all right. So I think we can just do it this way, right? So it's still good enough. So in this for loop, we just set it here, and we need to mention it over here as well when you're doing with vectors. So yeah, that makes sense. When it's arrays, you do it this way, right? So when it's vectors, similarly, you don't have to mention any size. You just say minus over here. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. The important thing is to remember to use this and symbol over here. It's easy to forget, but that's needed for vectors. All right. Next is, I think, passing structures. Let's see how we can pass structures. I think it's quite similar. Um, let's see how we can do that. It's just small changes, it's not much. All right. There is a structure, passing a structure to a function. Okay. So, uh, okay. So this is just will group data inside a function. All right. Struct car. Function gets a copy of the structure. Okay. Original data is not changed. Okay. So this is the structure that's initialized here. And then you have a function, right? And that function is calling this structure over here. Okay. And then you see out brand, c dot brand. Okay. All right. Car c. All right. C dot brand. All right. You're going here. Okay. All right. Okay. So this is how you can do that. And then in the main function, you just call this, which is this is a structure name. And then you have the my car, which is um yeah, my car is just the name you give to this array over here. And then you just call my function, which is this, and then you call this. So automatically what happens is this gets passed into this over here. This array gets passed into this, right? All right, so this gets into here directly, right? Which has the brand and then automatically Toyota and 2020, right? All right, let's see how this works. Passing structures. All right. Passing structures. So first we need to initialize the structure. Struct int struct, or let's just call it cars. Int cars, and let's say struct here and then cars. Inside, let's say int or string model and int year, um, and or instead of model, let's say, okay, let it be model. And after this, let's say uh, function, um, let's say void my function, and then let's say inside function here, I'm going to say cout brand, and then c dot model. My function inside here we need to say, right, we need to call this, right? So cars, you need to pass a structure inside this. So cars c, and then let's say brand, let's say year What is a year? What is a year? Let's say C dot year over here, and then just NL. And then let us say int int main int. Okay, all right. So if you're new, like the video if you're enjoying, and what you're learning is how to pass structures into a function. So if you just joined, that's what it is. So let's say int main, and then we have okay, we need to create this, right? Create the array, right? So I'm just going to say how can I call this string my cars and then the array, right? So let's say Toyota Toyota and 2020, close it and then call this function. um so I'm going to just call it my func my func and let me just cars, or let's say cars, my cars. All right, I think we are good now. There is some issue over here. What happened here? There is something wrong. Let us see. Okay, let us also return. All right, then what is there to do? Okay, here this is over here. This is not a string, right? This is an integer. Um, what else do we have? I guess we are good. There is something else that is to be changed. What is wrong here? Okay. Car, my car. Okay. So here we need to call the structure over here. Okay. Car. We don't need to say string like okay. So we're actually calling the structure, right? So we have to say cars, my cars. All right. Makes sense. Now let us run and see if we are getting the output. All right, so that's it. We got the output. Brand was Toyota. Okay, let's just make it a bit more cleaner. So after this Toyota, we need a space. Let's just put a space here. So, or we can also write after this, you can just write an handle. So I can do anything. So we have brand Toyota year 2020. So like this, we can pass as many. So can just say again, you can just say cars, my cars, my cars, BMW, BMW, and then 2021. Now, if you look at this, or you can just say here itself, right? What if you want it here? Let's say we have it here. You just pass it here. BMW. What happens if we do it here itself? 2021. All right. So that's an error. That's an error. Okay. So that becomes an error, right? Um, Let us see. Can we do with this? Um, all right, that's again not possible. Okay, so again, if you need more, right, you need to do like, I guess you have to create again, right? Yeah, if you need more, you just have to create again, right? So, yeah, you can't use my cars again. Yeah, so that's how we can do it. All right. So that was passing it over here. Then there is pass by reference as well. Okay. Struct car again the same thing over here. Initialization. And then here, as you can see, this is the reference, right? And then c dot year plus plus. Um, all right. Year plus plus. Okay. Okay, so what this does is this function over here just updates the year. So when this is called, this will just become 2021, right? Just increments the year. So this way you can also do it this way, just by reference. So what this does is you can modify the original data, right? So it just updates the year over here. Then yeah, you have a new year. What else we have? Real life example. Okay, converts a value from Fahrenheit to Celsius. Let's see. All right. Function that converts from Fahrenheit to Celsius.
We'll learn some cool tricks on how to assign multiple values in Python.
Okay.
Ready? Let's go. First up, let's see how Python
To
lets us assign values to
Celsius.
multiple variables in a single
There
line.
is a function created
Welcome back
here.
to Python Wizards.
Um,
Today, we're learning
yeah,
how
so this
Python
is the
functions.
formula, I
These are
think, to
special variables that live outside
convert
Python
to
and can be accessed by
from
anyone.
Celsius to
Let's take a look
Fahrenheit
at those functions.
or from Fahrenheit to Celsius.
Hey there, future coders. We're
So
looking at Python variable names.
that is what it is.
What's an int?
Then int main is called,
That means
okay,
a lot. What
float
if we wanted to
value.
let your variables almost anything you
So
want?
this is a small thing you can
Okay,
try.
future Pythonistas, ready
From
to explore
Fahrenheit to
the variables?
Celsius.
Let's get started with Python.
All right,
Good news. Many PCs and Macs already have
let's
Python,
see.
but let's make sure it's ready to go on your machine.
Um, Formula to convert from Fahrenheit to Celsius. So yeah, as you can see here, right, temperature degree in Celsius is what? Fahrenheit minus 32 into 5 divided by 9, right? So that is what it is. That's what is being done here as well, as you can see over here. So 5 divided by 9 into Fahrenheit minus
Hey there, coding
32.
enthusiasts. Today we're exploring how to
Yeah,
print
and then
variables in Python.
F value.
Let's see how we can use the print function to display variables.
This is the value,
First up,
Fahrenheit value that is
function
going to be
creates
passed
and outputs
here.
variables.
And
Hey there, coders.
result,
Today we're
okay,
examining how to output variables in Python.
all right.
Let's see how we can use the print function
So
to
2
display
Celsius is
variables.
called and
First,
F
create a
value is
function
passed over
used to
here.
output variables.
That is what happens.
Hey there, techies. Welcome back to
So
www.coding.com. Today we're
let us
discussing
see
how to
if we
print
can do it by
variables. Let's
ourselves.
get started. Quick
Okay, Fahrenheit to Celsius. Fahrenheit far to um, let's say temp dot cpp. Okay, let's include iostream using namespace std int. So we need to convert from Fahrenheit to Celsius, right? Fahrenheit to Celsius. Celsius. Okay. Not sure if that is the correct spelling. SIUS. Okay. SIUS. CVLSIUS.
recap on how to run Python on
All
your
right.
own.
So,
Your own.
and first let's create the okay.
You can execute
Let's
it
create the
yourself.
function. Let's call it far cell and okay, let's call it far cell. Oh, and okay, so what is the um let's just say far. We are converting Fahrenheit to Celsius, right? So we need the Celsius value, right? So cell equal to what is the formula? Five
Python code directly in the command line from the Python terminal.
5 divided by
Hey there, coders. Today we're creating
9.
Python variables.
So void, okay. Just say int cell here instead.
Think of variables as
Cell
containers with
equal
floating
to,
data values. In Python,
okay, cell equal to,
creating a variable is a
can I
function that
just
assigns a
say
value to it.
5.9 over here, I
Hey
guess.
there, future coders.
Okay. Fahrenheit minus 32. Um, R minus 32. R minus 32 into 5 divided by 9, right? Minus 32 into 5 Okay, 5 by 9. Okay, so far is not defined over here. All right, that's fine. Let's go here and say int mean, int mean, and let's call, let's say far equal to, int far equal to 90, or maybe 90 is too much. How much is 32 Fahrenheit? Okay, let's see how much 90 is. 32. Okay, let's see 90 itself. Let's give 90. 90. Let's change everything to float instead because it's all decimal. Let's keep it as float. Float, float far equal to 90. And now let's call the function. Function is far cell, and call this over here. So I'm just calling this far cell, and let's just say result here. Result equal to float. Okay, and result equal to float cell. Okay, or let's say float result equal to float. Okay, and then I'm just going to pass this value in, I guess, return return um, return result, I guess. I'm not sure if it's return result. um let's return 0 itself, not do it here. I think here we have made some mistake here for sure. um we have here as,
Today we're looking into Python comments.
okay, we have created a void function here, so we don't need a return value over here. But now
Let's go.
let's see. Float Fahrenheit. Okay. Let's, okay, inside here there is float Fahrenheit. Okay. So let's say float float cell inside here. Okay. And then, okay, so here this is the issue, right? There is two initializations. Float far. Okay. Now we are good, I guess. I think now we are good. So let's see if we are getting the output now. I think now we should. Let's see. Let me just change this name here to Chem. I just change the name. All right. Let's compile now. Let me change it again here. Oh, nothing gets printed. I think we have not see outed. Okay. Oh, happens all the time. See out. Let me just say, um, what do you have to see out? See out this, right?
They're super handy for
See
explaining
out
things
far, right?
making it
See out far.
easier to read, or even preventing.
So, yeah.
Hey there, future coder.
But wait a minute. Is that all right? Okay, let's see what happens. See out far. Um, this is the Celsius. Okay. Do you see out far here? Okay. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so you had to see out far here. All right. So, all right, it just prints 90. So what's the, that was 90 anyways. Let's see out cell and see what happens now. Isn't cell what we want? Um, how to see out cell? Or should we do it like see out far cell? Should we just see out like this? We can't do that, right? Can we do that? We can't do that, right? No, that's not possible. Um, no, 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 no. How do we do this? Okay. You have any ideas? Please let me know. If you're new, please do consider subscribing if you're enjoying this
Today we're
content.
looking into Python comments. Ready? Let's get
Okay.
comments in Python
Call
are
the function with the Fahrenheit value.
they're super useful
Yes,
for
we
explaining
need to
code,
just
making it easier
store
to
it in
read,
a
or
result
even preventing.
variable, all right, while calling
Cool.
itself. So let me just say float result equal to far cell and then just call result over here, print result. Isn't that good enough? Why is it? Okay. This should be fine, I guess, but
Welcome back to W3 Schools. Today we're diving
2
into the wonderful world of
Celsius
Python.
cell. You just call this
Imagine if you could tell your
2
future self
Celsius
exactly what to do in a language almost as simple as
F
English.
value
That's
far.
Python.
Okay, this can't be the same right here as well. Like here there is Fahrenheit.
Hey there, future Pythonistas. Ready to embark on your coding journey?
Um,
Let's get started with Python. Good news.
float
Most PC
Fahrenheit.
and Macs already have Python installed, but let's make sure it's ready to go on your machine. On a Windows Hey there, techies. Welcome back to W3Schools.com. Today we're diving into the rules of
What
Python
is this
3 for
Fahrenheit
advanced
over here?
programmers. Quick recap on how to run Python on your own. You can
Float
execute Python
Fahrenheit.
code directly in the command line from the Python
We
shell.
don't know this right here.
Hey there, future coders. Today we're looking at Python variable names.
And we are just saying F value
What's in a name?
98.
Well, when it comes to
How
coding,
does
there's
this
a
work?
lot. In Python, you can name your variables almost anything you
Let
like.
us see. Okay, so let me just see here. Parcel is declared with a void return type. Okay, this has to be a float and then return cell. Okay, all right. Float and then return cell. Makes sense. All right. What else do we need? I think that's the only thing. Is that the only thing that we need to do? I guess so. Let's see. No, it's not. We're still only getting 90. Did I not save it? Let's see. Okay, now we get 32.22, which is what we needed. Okay. So, yeah, so that shouldn't have been void because um, here we are actually in the main, right? We are actually having a float, right? Float value, but here we are saying it as void function, right? So we need to actually return something. Can't be void. So that was a thing here. So that was the only thing you had to change. Also, if you need a precise float, you can use the F after the values. So yeah, that was about functions. There is also function overloading. Let's see if there is something we can do. Function overloading. Okay, so let's do function overloading tomorrow.
Hey there,
Um,
future coder.
yeah,
Today we're looking into Python comments.
let's do it tomorrow. It's already
Comments are useful
been a
in
long time
hash
for
execution
today.
like this.
So tomorrow, let's
These
finish
are
it
handled
off
for
and
executing code, making it
we
easier to
will
debug.
move
Here's
to
a handy
scope,
hey there,
recursion,
coding enthusiasts.
lambda.
Today we're examining how to
Yeah,
input variables
so
in Python.
let's keep going.
Let's see
And
what it means to
yeah,
call
still a
functions
long
with
way
these
to go.
variables. To
Let's
start,
continue. And if you like the live stream, please do like it and subscribe to the channel if you want more such live streams. And yeah, until the next one, see you and